Today we're going with a different work, man. I brought those with masochism, you know? But hold on, it's not the protagonist who gets beaten, because if it were the damn protagonist getting beaten, it wouldn't be what I was thinking. It would be something else. I wouldn't bring it here, right?
Uh-huh. But what day is this?
It's someone else who likes to take a beating, right, guys? And it's tough, let me tell you. Just go ahead and blame the rat on the virgin. I don't know, on the channel member who is missing money here at home. Come on, virgin, you're a rat.
Do us a favor, help us out.
We will start where? At school, right? Let's go straight to school. Inside a university, right? Well renovated, seemingly new there. The teacher is explaining, telling everyone that they should do a group project, you know? Because they will be evaluated on the group project they are doing. It won't be just one person being evaluated, it will be the entire group, right? In short, it's that famous group project where there won't be anyone taking advantage of the smartest person. There won't be someone who says, I'll just do the slides and whatever. No, at least that's what our protagonist thought. He was already tired of doing group work. That's because everyone just took advantage of him and dumped everything on the guy, man. Because the guy is smart. Or at least he says he is smart. I don't know if he is. But the only thing he wants to try not to do is become the leader of the group. Because if he becomes the leader, then he'll be even more screwed, right? And man, 2 minutes passed after the teacher explained and left the classroom. Everyone got up and looked at the protagonist like, man, let's quickly become friends and do a group project. There will be guys who have never seen the protagonist in their lives, but they will talk to him, right? Having said that, everyone was already glued to him, man, wanting to carry his backpack, saying that if he wants some money, they'll give it to him too, you know, because they had cash there. What's that? Damn, they really want to get good grades, right? And then out of nowhere, an old girl came along. Then I thought, chish, damn, this girl is gonna get everyone to leave, right? Then she came over saying, guys, get away from him, man. You're not even his friends and just want to take advantage of him because he's from the classroom.
But you understand, but hold on a sec, you don't want to work on a group project with me either, do you? After all, I'm your friend, aren't I?
No way, man. Who are you? I don't know who the heck you are either. He doesn't even know the girl. The girl went crazy on him too. Then you can see, right? It doesn't matter who it is, knowing or not knowing, the guys will ask the kid for help because he had good grades at school. He's the one saying that. No, I'm the one saying he's the one speaking. But on the other hand, we see a chubby guy trying to call a girl who didn't go after the protagonist. To give you an idea, everyone went after him and asked to do group work, but no one else there was from that class except those two. The chubby guy told the girl he was going to do the toughest part of everything there, man, which was the slide, which was the hardest to do, you know? Then she asked about him, then are you just going to do the damn slide, thinking the teacher will give the highest grade for a pretty slide? Aren't you going to narrate the story? Aren't you going to say what's happening there? Obviously, she doesn't accept it, right? And she gave a flat out no in the old chubby guy's face to custom base that the other folks who were waiting to invite her to their group. Do you think the guy approached her? No way, right? The guys were all scared to approach her. Then this one here. Eh?
I'll tell you what, that girl there, you don't know, but she's the most masochistic in the class, nobody gets close to her. Well guys, she's the tough one. Apparently, she was accepted as the best in the class and never missed a single scholarship opportunity, always passed. She has intelligence, she's beautiful, also draws a lot of attention from classmates, guys in general, asked her out, right?
Agreed. The truth is she could only reject so many guys like that when the others started to realize they didn't stand a chance with her, you know. So everyone realized that no one was being accepted. Everyone started to stop. Then it was advice here, advice there, don't be sad, and that's it. But our protagonist in turn, guys, thought about it while he was in the library and the book suddenly fell from there, right? It was definitely just fate. The book ended up on the floor, like a bunch of books stopped on the floor there, and he went to fix them. And when he got there to fix the book to see what it was, he thought, oh, it must have just fallen here. I'll find a way to fix it. But this little girl who was lying on the ground, man, your classmate... Guys, Mazo, our bravest one. Her name is Mazo, but I'll call her Mazoquista because it was shortened from Masochist. Anyway, Virgin doesn't have a headache, doesn't bring up an idea. They were talking after this, after he helped her up, you know, about the group project, but she told him, dude, that she told the teacher she's going to do it alone, you know, because she doesn't want to help the type of loser guy who just tries to ride on the coattails of someone who's smart. And I agree with her because there were a lot of SOBs in my class who would do that. And I was one of those guys, you know, because I was really dumb. So since I couldn't get the book up there, he helped her put the book up there, right? Saying that, well, no one will have the courage to invite her to a group either, right? The way she's annoying as hell, so he tells her that. But then she goes and asks if he's already found his team members by any chance. Then he comments, I'm still deciding that, by luck. She asks, what do you mean by luck? Well, by drawing straws, let's see who will join the group. Not to mention, she says he would be a good team member.
Then from here, I already found it strange because her saying he would be a good team member for her, I was kind of like, right. And then quickly the guy went on talking to her, grabbing having his phone in his hand saying, Kisse, I'm gonna ask if someone wants to join our group because I don't know what. She says, no, forget it. I'm just kidding. Relax. I'm not saying cool.
Yeah, that I'm gonna join your group or right? Something was already strange there, right? She bent down, came back, grabbed another book that had fallen on the floor while she was picking it up, right? When she bent down and got up, I already thought, I'm cool. He continued to say that then she's not interested in going out with anyone else, right? Again, it was right out of nowhere. He brought up the subject, and then she asked why. Because someone might ask her out again. She was already alert because if someone does ask, she'll turn them down again, right? But she was reaching for a book that was under the cabinet. He said, well, not exactly that this would happen, but she doesn't feel like she's wasting her best school years, guys, which is making friends, meeting people, but she replies, no, I've never paid a fee to anyone and I'm not going to start now. Yeah, she's going crazy. Really, the only thing she thinks while trying to grab the book, which was far from her hand, is that she doesn't like people and never will.
Even though she's our...
I won't even say anything. Then our protagonist, you notice in turn that she was trying to get the book, right, guys? And she was bent over. Then she said she didn't like to waste her time with something as annoying as those people who don't even know what they're talking about and just want attention for getting good grades, right? But he kept looking at her bent over that yes, she is absolutely right, guys. But from here... I'll tell you guys it's a dream. No, the guy's already dreaming. I think if this happened, half of it is a dream. Because the guy is already going crazy, going after her. He sees that she was with her rear up, managed to get out from under there, right? It's that famous scene. I'm stuck in the wardrobe and my neighbor comes to help me. Do you remember that? No? I also don't want you to remember because it's very strange. How come Virgin, she was stuck there and it was a dream? What? The kid is in front of the PC now, dude. Doing 5 against 1, you know? They're in the 5 against 1. Then I thought, well, for sure it was completely a dream. And he can't even imagine this kind of thing happening because he's not crazy enough to do that with her, man. Imagine if she freaks out and starts hitting the guy, right? Right? Or would you have him jailed? But despite everything, it's not like he didn't want to do it too, right? Oh, because the only thing he thinks about is that he would date her, you know, because she is a very strange girl in the classroom who attracts people like him. That famous quiet one in the back, like you say, wanted to marry her, right? But the thought about, But on the other hand, in your place there was another person, there was a girl. Ah yes, there's a girl in his house, dude. Who apparently is named Hori, you know? Hori has been his childhood friend for 15 damn years, and she's doing university there to get into university, in this case, for the 3rd time. She's failing more than passing. But the protagonist kept trying to clean her room and arguing with her, right? Saying she has to get up to do things because he's just taking care of her, guys. Because she's a poor girl, according to him, right? That he's receiving a fixed salary to take care of her. So that's why he looks after her. So, I don't know if he's dumb or just really clueless, right? Instead of taking advantage. But no, man. It's just the mindset of a virgin. I'm not thinking anything. Then he sees that she spent the whole day on her cell phone and tells her that if you like the person you're looking at on your cell phone, just confess to him, right? Then the guy says this, gives the right advice even though he doesn't do it himself, right? And that she needs to study to get into the same university as the person she likes because that'll make it easier. But she says she studied today, that she tried, I don't know what, but... I'll show you what she's looking at on her phone here, man. For the love of God, she's watching TikTok, right? She just won't stop looking at TikTok on her phone and the guy still cleans her room. Do you really think, judging by her face, that she really wants to study? She doesn't care at all. She's just going to pay for college, pay, and never get in, you know? That's it. I don't know if she's the one paying, but... Apparently not, because when it's you, it even hurts the wallet, and she says she's going to stay lying down to recharge your energy, because sleeping is the best thing there is, right, man? Sleeping renews energy. You're crazy. Best phrase of the type in the world there is? Damn, man, the protagonist even goes crazy, teasing her, saying that if she keeps recharging her energy like that, soon she'll fly off like Goku from Dragon Ball, you know? Because she's been lying in bed for so long, and my friend, she needs to stop taking advantage of your dad and his money. But she responds with another irony, saying that it would be really fun if she could actually fly, right? Because wow, imagine her flying around being successful. I don't know what flying and being successful have to do with each other, but okay, then out of nowhere, she looks at his face, just out of nowhere, like that, you know? I don't know why, but she looks at his face. Our protagonist fiddles with her school book there because he sees that she has a photo of herself with our classroom friend. Then he doesn't get it, right? The guy is even drooling over the book. Then she asks, is that the girl you like in the classroom? Because you're drooling over her, right? And then he says, yes, but how does she know she exists? And simply because she mentions that she used to sit on your same side in class, you know? Then the protagonist got curious and said to her, tell us, man, what do you know? Because I like her, right? You know how it is. I can't confess to her what but about this, guys, think of a girl who puts on pressure, huh? Hori looking with that whole expression, asking, are you curious? Want me to tell you what really happened there? Then the protagonist goes and grabs her by the head. She starts rubbing her head. Tell us right away, damn it. You're just putting pressure. Do you think you can boss us around, brother? Come on, just tell us. And since there was nothing else to do, she started to tell. Dropped all this damn pressure. It's like some 5 o'clock soap opera, man. Saying this happened, guys, when she was in the same class as her. 3 years ago, let's get into context. Context. You know that your school used to be strict, right? Her school was really strict. Like literally taking a ruler and hitting the girls' butts who didn't study. And guess who did that? Of course it was the teacher who was there. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but for me it doesn't matter in terms of relevance, right? Because if I say who it is here, they might arrest the guy who's inside Mondra too. I wouldn't be surprised. And the girls would be all giggly there, right? Laughing at the girl who got smacked on the butt and slapped with the ruler because it hurt like hell. It was really bad. But of course, guys, that our Maso never got hit with a ruler on the butt. That's because you know she's smart, she always did everything, but one day, Hori remembers that she stood up, guys, and confessed to the teacher that she hadn't done the homework. She stood up in that moment, stayed there on the board, right? Which in this case is the thing for drawing on for kids to learn things I don't know anymore because I've already forgotten. It's not been long since I left school, but I don't remember anymore. So she hadn't completed her homework, and that was the punishment she had to take. At the time, Hori was just like, oh, amazing, right? She never denied anything, so like maybe she forgot, so she couldn't do it. But Goni... And the teacher gave her a hefty smack on the butt as a lesson to show her she can't go without doing homework, right? Then everyone was laughing at her because damn, the smartest girl in the class couldn't do the homework. It was really funny, but man, when Hori looked to the side, she saw that Maso had returned to her desk. Guys, I took a look at her face. Man, Hori was astonished by what she saw because Maso is really our masochist, right? Because the girl was panting and sweating like crazy from a smack she got with the ruler from the teacher. Man, damn, dude, I'm thinking this teacher is gonna be a real pain.
Good thing they didn't show his identity, right? If they showed it, he'd be in trouble. Where would they send it now?
But no way, man. The prota himself says it's a lie. 4-8, our protagonist, doesn't believe it at all. But why would she be lying about the water like that, man? She even tells our protagonist again, that damn 4-8, I'm telling the truth. Why would I lie to you? Are you stupid or what? She's absolutely sure she saw the feminine instinct in herself at that moment, guys. But well, our protagonist can't think of her that way, guys.
True masochist, my friends. I'm telling you that these days it's hard to call someone that, right? But when you find one, you don't want to let go. At least the virgin likes that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I won't even say anything. And however, our protagonist was running through the campus at the college there, but he was listening through headphones. Those famous morning classes on becoming a billionaire. What kid or young guy today doesn't want to become a billionaire? These days, the goal is to have money, right, guys? I'm not going to lie to you, not that Virgion wants it too, but there was a situation. I'm eating more rat with stone than having money to buy some meat there. It's really bad. Then he kept listening to the guy talking about, instead of having willpower, create an environment where you can make money. Show to other people that you have the support of others and other people you don't know to make money. I don't know if I understood, but I'm already getting it, right? I'm even going to write it down in my notebook to get rich. This is because the guy on the call there said it helped him earn over $10 billion in assets, and of course you can too. Just work like crazy, damn it, and then you'll make it, trust me, man. But he couldn't get it out of his head, dude. You know what? What Hori told him? Because man, it's impossible. But Maso is literally a masochist, you know? No, it was a really intense conversation at the time, right? How is he going to believe that this beauty, this gorgeousness here is Maso? No way, man. No way. I'll tell you guys that I don't believe it. Only seeing. Show it to me so I can believe by seeing. His ideas are very intense because he starts to think about how she really is on the inside, right?
It's even strange to imagine how she would react at the moment, right? Because like,
It's literally what I said. Show me because I don't believe it. I only believe it seeing it. Then he stopped for a bit to drink a bottle of water. Speaking of water, have you drunk water there? You've been watching a short video all day, you fool. You'll end up with water deficiency encephalopathy. Water deficiency encephalopathy? What kind of nonsense is that? Whatever, just made it up. And in this studying, and think about Maso, man. Speaking of Maso, dude, there must be some guys over there in the corner smoking cigarettes, right, at the university. They'll get all sick with that stuff, right? Just sitting there smoking cigarettes, talking about the girl in the second year, saying she's really wild. Then the protagonist hears, who's the girl in the second year? It's Maso. Obviously, they're talking about her. Then the guys kept commenting that she's the most beautiful in the whole place, man. The only problem is that she thinks she's on top of the world, and very likely she is just an innocent girl who thinks too much of herself, you know? That's the point of view that many people will have. right? Which makes little sense for her visibility. Dude, the guy gets pissed for eyes on our protagonist, isn't even dating the girl, but feels like getting into a fight with the guys, right?
That's right. That's literally looking for a fight for no reason. It doesn't even make sense in my opinion. He's not even dating the girl. The guy doesn't even talk to her.
Obviously, our protagonist knows that everyone, guys, has the right to be deceived by her, but do they need to talk like that? Our protagonist is not happy about this. That's because they are adults. They should be ashamed of doing this kind of thing, but they weren't even talking to the protagonist for some reason. I don't care, man. You want to butt into others' conversations that this has no logic. This guy is literally the type who gets beaten by everyone who shows up, right? Because picking a fight with that one doesn't make sense. But he continues walking. He's not going to pick fights with the guys, especially because he would get beaten. He's smart, not good at fighting, trust me. Then Ms. Nida, guess what he says in the middle of his workout, right? He was listening with headphones there, Ms. Nida, and well, I saw a lifted butt. Then I thought, well, must be the Amazon.
They apparently, with her cute little face, sending a hi. Yes, it's exactly her, guys. Now, so our protagonist is already getting her attention, raising his little hand there. Then she said hi to him and asked if he happens to usually train at this time in the morning too, right? Then he says yes, he has free time to walk and it's good to warm up the body from time to time. Doing basic training helps with health and it's a good idea, right?
She's already adjusting herself there and asks if they could walk together, man. Then it's already getting nice. It's starting to evolve. Now then, my friend, I agreed.
And soon they started walking around the school there. In this case, the the campus with training facilities and everything. Then she started commenting that she was thinking about taking a break from school. Then he asked, what do you mean, a break from school out of nowhere? She says the environment is not the same as before. Basically, that's what she says. Not to mention, she also tells us that a high GPA does not guarantee a job. I have no idea what the heck GPA is, but it must be something related to school or university. And that the open selective processes, guys, are also ending according to her. And that just a diploma on paper won't take you anywhere. And that really makes sense, thinking that taking a course will directly place you in the federal police office. No way. Yeah, you won't get in without someone on the inside to help you. And that's why she tells us she wants to take a break from school and prepare for a lab interview. Then our guy says, oh, you're only in the second year? There is no reason for you to be in such a hurry. She says that it is indeed a bit early, guys. However, she says that, of course, right, she has to get in. But what leaves him most amazed is because she mentions Nida that an older person she knows said they're going to help her get in. Then the guy is shocked. Damn, is she dating some guy? The guy already starts thinking, ah man, this girl I'm not even dating is seeing another guy. I'm getting cuckolded from afar, damn it. Then they start walking a bit faster. He says he already understood, but then what kind of guy is this that you're talking about? Zeki Yesab, and then she tells him that he is her Sumbai, that he is working as a teaching assistant in our department, right? In their department in this case, and has done post-graduation. And speaking of the devil, guess who is right there, guys? Exactly him. Our guy was shocked because she said, look, speaking of the devil, look there. Yanda, tudbo. And then the guy came and said, okay, man, she already ran towards him, getting his attention from afar. And, hey, how are you doing there? Yeah, man, look at that. It was that guy, you know, literally the one bad-mouthing our Amazon man smoking a cigarette. Dude, what is this? This guy here is Jong Ju-yoon. I don't even know how to say his name, but it's him. He's 27, a professor and assistant of referee. I can't say this, whatever, but the guy is a professor, and when he noticed she was calling him, right, he went after her. Then, like, did someone call me? I didn't get it. There was nobody on the street, man. Nobody at all. And you know what's the funniest thing? That nobody was on the street. You know why? Because Proto dragged her into the woods. Then I was like, damn, man, this kid has issues, definitely. I know the girl is easygoing, but don't go crazy like that. You'll get arrested, damn it, will you? Then he was saying, can't you take a leave? Out of nowhere, like while pressing her against the tree. And she's like, what? How can you take a leave while you're holding me? Come on. And he just thought it had to be from that jerk, right, guys? Of all people. Possible from there, it had to be the guy he heard bad-mouthing her. Of course, he can't let be with that guy. And he comments to her that he knows she's impatient, but tries to think calmly. Dude, look at the face she was making, guys. She was all downcast while he kept saying she doesn't even know what kind of person that guy is. I think you have to make a decision, not so hastily. It's as if he were dating her. She just said, let go of me, kid. Are you crazy? And then he immediately lets her go, right? And she starts giving the counter response that she is expecting so much help from him. Obviously, she did most of it, right? And it doesn't matter who she goes by, as long as she can prove her skills to the teacher, she will manage to pass. Then our protagonist commented to her that she should just do it well on her own, guys. She doesn't need his help since she's saying she can do it alone, then do it alone, and that this is her achievement. And she's even impressed when he does it for her, right? Then she felt awkward, looked to the side, right? Because damn, the guy said I'm really good, I can pass.
I doubt if I said this to any woman it would work out so easily. Trust me, it's not going to go bad for you to see. However, she confides something to us here, okay? She says, guys, that the truth is it doesn't matter what she does. These past few days she can't concentrate, that's what she's telling us. She mentions that just the other day, she opened her laptop to do homework, but just stared at the screen doing nothing at all. It's like the awkward guy searching for videos to film. He just looks for the content but never films, you know? Then yesterday, she was sitting in the library with an open book, but your tasks and assignments are piling up and your mind just goes blank. She doesn't want to do anything. But as she talked about it, out of nowhere, she started walking away from the situation saying, I don't know why I'm telling you this.
Sometimes I don't even know you well. I go home, got it sucker from 48, but then he pulls her back, right? Because damn, hold on girl, the guys are right there. But she didn't want to bother him, so she just left, leaving the protagonist where?
Back there, guys, what a depression. And it was right at her oops that was there in the corner. Oh, bastard, son of a gun, a huge smelly guy. And at that moment, Plata got mad, but also serious, right? Thinking, what am I going to do to solve the problem?
Then at that moment, what came to his mind, right? At those times, I don't know why the hell, but it did. He remembered what Hori told him, that Hori said it would be 100% feminine instinct at that moment.
Oh wow, the maze got all there is reddish and I don't know what, right? And he shouted, guys, shouted
From the middle of the bush, saying then that he should reprimand her, you know? That way she can focus more on her task. Dude, when the guy says that, she stops. She really stops completely when he says he's going to reprimand her. Reprimand is not, you know what I mean. She gave him a look like back there, right? Just me, just making a face because like I already thought, well, the guy isn't masochist, no man, the guy's gonna take it. And she even asked, what do you mean by reprimand? What do you mean by that? And then he said, you know, that
Come on, you know, like in primary school, he's going to give her a smack on the butt if she doesn't say and do what she should really do. Dude, the guy threw a line like that at her. She looked at him like that, looked to the side. Damn, man, he really said that. To say that he likes her isn't good, right? But now to pull this crazy move, the guy is.
And she turned back facing the street, right? Out of nowhere, man. She just turned back and simply ignored the protagonist. Just like that. Then she went up to her oppa and he asked if by any chance she started working out, right? Obviously early in the morning she said she was running with her classmate, all of that. She just literally ignored the protagonist.
And then the guy kept asking if she was in some kind of relationship with him, but she says no, that he's just a friend and that's it, right, my friend? That's it. Although I'll tell you something, huh? Got a bit of a suspicious impression here, man, but of course our 4-8 was down. Sad though, man, I still...
But she acted crazy and said I'm out of my mind. I almost got arrested.
How can it be female instinct if she didn't even react, right? He's an idiot for believing Ruri's words, right, guys? And out of nowhere, the cell phone there started receiving a message. Then he sees that today's routine is a bit ruined because he should study a little more on how to become a billionaire, because who doesn't want to become a billionaire, right? And suddenly he opens the messages he received and hi.
And he sees the message, you know from whom, man? From Mazo, saying she wants to hear what he just said and asks if he is free. Dude, we won, guys.
You're crazy. Send that dish because I want to eat food, huh, Tony? Hey, no. And she sent that message while she was talking with her little buddy, right? While he kept saying that studying is the cool job and whatever. And it's good to pay off the costs, you should join. And the protagonist replied to her saying that we can go, right? Then she asks, how about we go this afternoon? Then he says, let's go. Let's meet at the cafe by the school gate. Then we'll head out.
We won, damn it, we won. The guy was down until now, but now we won, I don't even care.
Screw the training, right? Let's go out with the brunette. Then they were already there at the place, right? At the little cafe they mentioned. Bro, the protagonist was acting like a wise bald guy. You know the guy from the video tutorial he watches about making 10 billion? He was talking to her in a way that I'll tell you, it was almost depressing. Stop imitating others, my friend. Top the bottom, umiyazation, pandezant. However, she was all happy there because he talks about willpower, that if she doesn't fail and all that stuff, she was thinking she was in one of those motivational Kuteko videos, right? Those little videos that you goes and say, wow, you're the warrior or something like that, even though you're watching short videos until now. And in this context, he tells her that he would punish her, guys. What do you mean punish her? Of course, he's going to spank her, which is just an example he gave. He won't literally spank her. And he asks why she hasn't said anything until now, right? Because she could have commented on what she thought about what he said so far. And in response, she blushes a little. Then we already see that she, right, really is maso, saying that fine, she accepts, then ask why she won't accept, even because she is pathetic to the point of wanting his help. help because she can't do things on her own. But no, hold on. Our protagonist says that now that she mentioned it, folks, it's like crying over a wrong question on a test. Oh, and the guy laid down the wise words, huh? That's because there's no use crying over spilled milk. You can't cry over spilled milk because it's already spilled. But then she asked Maru, so why do you keep helping me? The guy froze, right? Why does he keep helping her? Yeah, will he really say it's just because he wants her, right? Of course, he's not going to say that. Every man has ulterior motives, my friend, right? Scoundrel guy, but I'm like that too. That's because she tells him he has nothing to gain by helping her, folks. And the same thing happened at the library. That time I told you about when they went to the library, right? And he thought some things that made no sense anyway. She knows they are busy, and then she's just asking if she's bothering him or not. Then he... Stop explaining that all stuck. Can't even understand what he was saying. It sounded like a jackhammer, right? She got all puzzled and looked at his face because he told her just like this. Actually, I'm even interested in becoming a personal tutor at the gym. When he said, I'm interested, he even stuttered. Then I thought, wow, the guy's going to say he likes her, right? But no way. The dude changed the subject saying he was going like, to your school, guys, he has a good track record. He has a good track record there, right? So he ends up following that path and it would be good. He becomes a tutor. Look at the excuse. And he said a bunch of crap things there that he's going to be able to teach a straight-A student and whatever, that he's very intelligent, that if he can teach her, man, she's only thinking about the possibilities that might happen, because do you think she's listening to what he's saying?
She's only thinking about the spankings he's gonna give her, right? I'm not even gonna say anything from now on.
Just down. Then our protagonist started going back to your house because the small talk there had ended and he began to climb the stairs. Then the guy was thinking, like, how come, man, becoming an instructor? He baited her by saying he would be an instructor in the future even though he doesn't even want to be that misery, right? Why did he lie to her so much? He could have just said he liked her. But anyway, he looked at the message that the Amazon sent him about the punishments. And do you know what punishment she said? Nap for 10 minutes, 5 times spanking. Forget to exercise, guys, 10 times spanking. Gain weight, 3 kilograms, 3 times spanking. Late for class, 10 minutes, 5 times spanking. Excessive navigation on the cell phone there, on TikTok there, scrolling through Kwai and all that, 10 times spanking. Memorizing words per question, 1 time spanking. I'm not sure if this will help at all, but if she's saying it will, then it will, right? Then she comments below that we'll settle things in a week at my apartment, and she's counting on him. At her apartment, it's her apartment, guys. And he only thought that she really has this kind of preference, man. Does she really want the spankings? She's being too serious about it, huh? 10 spankings, 5 spankings, are you crazy for such silly things? My friend, right? If that's the case, then the virgin will get several. Spankings of the butico. He doesn't want it there, but it doesn't matter. Today he will have to do something. He has to take something to his Ruizinha, guys, your childhood friend. As he got closer to our Amazo, he needs to thank Ruri for that. And as he saw the other day, guys, that she was drooling over a chocolate cake, guess what he did to thank her? Of course, he bought the chocolate cake, right? Chocolate cake, because she likes that stuff, he's going to give it to her. He already started opening the door because, well, that's his apartment too. They both live there. I hope she's not doing anything too strange in there. But my friend, when I say doing nothing too strange, the guy comes in and opens the door. Yeah, hey, here, brought your cake. You couldn't, yeah, you can eat it. It's tasty. Thanks for helping me with the girl Totoya. So right, guys, when he takes a look, yes, you know she was alone at home, right? She was already in a 2-against-1 situation there, my friend. And when she saw he was there, look at her face, caught in the act. This is worse than catching someone in the shower, man. It's really bad, man. You can say it's true, I know how it is. However, our protagonist doesn't have that crush on her because he's been her childhood friend for 15 years. He just sees her as a girl who hangs around watching cartoons doing nothing, and time passed, right? He put the chocolate cake on the table, except he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed. But imagine her then, right, my friend? Actually, I'm going to take back what I said. She wasn't embarrassed. She wanted to eat a cake. Konachita cake. Can I eat this cake that's right here? It's freaking delicious. However, he apologizes. He suddenly apologizes to her, saying that no matter how close they are, guys, he shouldn't have just barged into her room like that, because that's not something you should do, right? Not to mention, he says he didn't know how she would spend her private time, because he called her to talk about it, but she didn't answer. Next time he will call back, send a message, but no, she asks if by any chance he wouldn't reprimand her. But why would he reprimand her for something that's normal to do, guys? Then she feels all relieved, right?
She's all happy there. I don't know if it's because of the damn cake, right? And she says that she was worried for no reason, but I want to eat. Can I eat now? Then she picked up the spoon and went straight for the cake, asking if she could eat the cake now. He says she can eat, feel free to eat.
And curiously, he asks if by any chance, guys, while he was eating the cake, right, if she doesn't feel embarrassed or uncomfortable because he saw her doing that kind of thing. Then she thought, turning her face to the side, she says she didn't hate it, like wasn't mad at him, you know? After all, the fault is kind of hers, but also his. He intruded and she was doing it, right?
So it gets a bit more hidden and stuff. Then he kind of deaf asked what she said, but no, she didn't say, I didn't say anything, no.
He didn't hear her say that she didn't hate what he saw, you know, but she asks, why did you buy the cake for me? I don't get it. You never do this for me, buying cake for me now. Bastard, you want something? I'm not going to give you anything, no. But no, he explains to her that because of her, he managed to get close to the girl he likes the most at school, guys.
Our little dear, right? And that this is a gift because he managed to get close to her thanks to our little Ruizinha, guys. But when she hears that he managed to get closer to her, she kind of feels down.
Then Tani, I didn't understand anything, right? Does she really like him, guys? Yes, exactly that, right? That's a word because she already goes towards him saying, what do you mean you got closer to him? I don't understand. He says it's a long story and asks if she wants to hear it. And from here, he starts telling her while she crouches down listening to the little story.
I don't know why she was crouched down listening to the little story, but okay, right? She was listening to the little story there while he was giving detail by detail, guys. And when he said he was going to punish Mazo by smacking the butt if he messed things up, Hori looked over and said, dude, are you crazy? Imagine if she records this stuff, they'll throw you in jail, man. Are you going crazy? There's not even a contract for this misery. But he says right after there that
Of course, all of this is pre-planned and obviously I'm doing this as a private tutor. And now shut up, I'm doing it. Stay quiet, don't worry about it. And with that said, from the far side over there, she says that even so guys, does it not matter even a little bit that he'll get arrested and someone catches him on the side? No, what does she mean by that, huh?
It's not that she's saying she's going to report him, guys. Of course, apparently she won't do that. She's his childhood friend. She won't do that. But look at her all awkward, right? He asks why she's sulking. It's written all over her face that she's bothered by it, right? But she says, no, I'm not bothered by that, no.
And really though, he takes a look at the cake, right? A little look at the cake, sees that she ate a ton of cake and says the cake shouldn't be enough to make her happy. He even mentions if there's something she wants him to do for her, guys. Wow, out of nowhere, she just threw it out there, guys. I want to do that. I was like, damn, this is serious, man. It's a goal. It's a goal, you know?
It was an own goal. No one told him not to do that. It was a goal, you know? It was a goal. And she didn't take back her words, you know? She said that in return. She wants him to do that with her, you know?
Didn't go back on her words. This girl is faster than Lightning Marquinhos when he's at 220 kilometers per hour, right? Is that nothing? She pulled the guy in a flash of speed, man. Took the guy up to her bed. Her room, of course, right?
It was inevitable, man. She was already on top of him like that. There was nothing else to do. She is strong. She may not look it, but she is strong.
I don't know how she got this strong. It definitely wasn't from 2 against 1, but okay, right? The excuse she gave is that this kind of thing is normal and she's frustrated. So she needs to relax, guys. The main character gets mad saying it doesn't make sense for her to be frustrated because she doesn't even study. She spends the whole day watching TikTok and very likely doing 2 against 1 there in the room. Not that I'm watching this, right? Of course.
But she gives her word as the answer, saying this is an opportunity to seize and pay off the debt she has with him as a young girl, you know.
Oh, that excuse was the most absurd I've ever seen in my life, but as I, a little virgin, say nothing against the response, I would accept it. However, the protagonist here, he's very stupid. Then she says she found a weak spot in that. Then he asks if she really wants to do that, right? The point...
The weakness is, 4E is dumb. That's the weakness. But now things got serious. So hold on, let's quickly get into context. He already stands up, tells her, look, my girl, I don't know if you've noticed yet, you're always 2 against 1 your whole life. And it's your first time. Are you flipping out on me like that? She looks him up and down, you know? Do you think she cares? She couldn't care less. And in those moments, my friend, right? It's like you start thinking you're dying and start remembering the past. Right then, man, Hori starts remembering that our protagonist stayed by her side her whole life, dude. It's crazy. At the karaoke, singing really badly, right? Because we almost broke the protagonist's ear, but he was right there next to her.
At the amusement park, when she couldn't get on the Ferris wheel, when she managed to, she ended up vomiting. Gross, but he was by her side.
Even when there was a pesky little cat there, he would watch the cat with her. The kitten licking its paw. I don't know what's so amusing about that, but the kitten was watching.
Nut and when she was trying to lift some boxes to carry them to the other side, he was also by her side to watch because she was stronger than him, so she was the one carrying the boxes. And one day she was looking at the sky, but she was with him, right guys? And they're at that stop where they were.
This, look. Coming back from there, seeing a black sky, kind of yellowish, painted from one side to the other. It was nice, it was cute. And then she goes back to telling him while she takes her eyes off Cuatro wee guys that he always thinks too much because of this. And for that reason, she always gets anxious about everything she sees about him. But of course, he is smart, cool, much more than she is. And for that reason, she wants to go with him, you know? Then he says again, I'm not that amazing. I'm not a special person, right?
The famous moment when you belittle yourself to seem cooler than usual, but screw it, my friend, shut up and just come. I don't want to hear it, shut up. But she says it's because he can't be happy when he doesn't decide to be happy. I didn't understand this thing she said, right? But let's go inside.
And about the cake. Yeah, man, the cake is still there. What the cake saw now, I'm telling you, is the kind of thing no virgin saw. Only the cake knows, man. Ask the cake because it knows. I don't know the rest, only the cake knows. And after that, it's over.
It's over, guys. Poor Hori, after this, she couldn't even get out of bed. She was all shaky, right? She'll be weak in the knees and is weak in the knees, right? The protagonist was there. Up there, the man sees a leg and says, Kapinimpa, said, girl, get up. Yeah, then she says her legs hurt, that she can't get up. Then he says, guys, see see what happens when you don't walk? Eat a banana. Banana helps with the shakes, guys. If you want to walk and feel the shakes, eat a banana. Eat it. Don't do anything else with the banana, man. Then he ended up lifting her and she told him to put her pajamas on because she couldn't even put on her pajamas, right?
She wasn't wearing clothes, you know, she was naked, guys. Then he says, hey, it's still morning, you want to put on pajamas? You need to take a shower and exercise with him, do some exercise, then Inez. But she starts crying, saying, I don't want to wake up early anymore. I don't like waking up early. Don't wake me up, damn it. And in this, from that side, from that other side, I also didn't understand this here, but I just know it says something about that side from the other side. Let's go to the other side over there.
What did I say? It was you know who. Exactly her, guys. Wow, Mazuzinya, that's what I want to know.
I don't want to know about the childhood friend, but it's cool that happened, man. I said, I'm starting to see progress, huh? Then she tells the guy there, well, like, I'll try my hardest, professor. I'll try. Well, so I didn't get the context, but he says that, yes, in your laboratory, we just need someone like you who will start immediately and do everything the boss says. She was happy to get in through a recommendation by her buddy who was back there, right? He said she shouldn't feel pressured. After all, she's talented and he can see her working and she thanks him. And her big buddy who was back there is...
He says, so Professor, I will take my leave. I'll leave you with her alone there, right? Yes,
So yun, so I'm gonna head out. Then the two started to leave, leaving the professor quietly inside. And he thanks her for all the hard work she's done so far. And by the way, even calls her attention. She asks what? Then he points down. Guys, I didn't get that at all, right? Pointing down for what? What is that, dude? But do you know why he pointed down?
It's not what you're imagining. It's because he tells her to wear her clothes properly. That's because he's afraid people might get the wrong idea about the place, you know? She wasn't well, she was all disheveled. Being total.
This is bad in a way for the company's image, right? And seeing this your oppa, she says, yes, I will straighten up, don't worry, right? Imagine that.
I also see it already put on the clothes properly, right? So no one would misunderstand things there. I see it before. She was sitting with your oppa on the bench and
Then he would tell her, you know, that he might seem like a very tough guy. In this case, Professor Zala, who said things to her, right? But he's a nice guy. He's normal. Inside, he's a laid-back guy, right? And well, he thinks it's because he works so much that he's able to give so many questions about tasks that he probably does this kind of thing. I don't get where he's going with this, but I'm getting it, right? Whatever, it doesn't matter much. Then he sees that.
Man, Armazu wasn't understanding anything, and she was looking at the piece of paper very anxiously.
and she told him not to talk to her because she's worried there. She's thinking, and what's that, man? She keeps saying that the data there is too big. The data there is too big from the task she has to do, right? Obviously. And that she's right about the patterns and she doesn't know which documents she should refer to directly there. But then people are like, what do you mean, man? Why is she biting her nails, girl? Just talk to me normally while you read the thing. You didn't need to do that.
then from
Out of nowhere, my brother, the guy wanted to offer help to...
About the issue there with the semester, I don't know what, right? Because he could help her with all of that. But suddenly, man, she says to him that she doesn't want his help, can't accept your help. Then she says that he, of course, introduced him to the professor and everything, but she must work on this on her own because she remembers that the protagonist said he would help her. She ended up refusing the guy here. Her face was really serious. When the guy takes a look, he sees that she was serious, right? In this case, he thinks that I already knew that, but he says there's something written for her, you know? Then she asks, what do you mean written for me? Do you have the cheat sheet for me there? Pass me the cheat sheet. I'll pass it quickly. He starts rummaging in his backpack, saying that he didn't think it would be approved. So of course he wrote the whole draft before leaving alone. Because she could pass more easily, yes. And also, he didn't show it to the teacher, obviously, because he's not that dumb. And dude, when he pulled that piece of paper out of the backpack, she looked and saw that he really made everything nice for her, man. And this is an insane level of research. She tries to tell him that, no, this is wrong, this is cheating the teacher, you can't do that.
This definitely doesn't happen in Brazil straight for you to become a public servant, right? But he tells her that she doesn't need to feel pressured like that because she can pass easily, guys. And man, what is this dude? The guy goes up to her and starts hugging her, saying that all this is what he needs, hugging her out of nowhere like that. Then he starts taking off the big coat she put on, you know?
Ah man, what's this? Out of nowhere some birds started flying, stirring up the wind there. I don't know what happened, but honestly, I don't want to know much, okay? Just saying, this is strange. You know, all I know is that a week later, man, she was already at your house, right?
The books were tossed aside, and guess what? Our protagonist was there with her teaching. What happened between the two of them there?
I don't know, but he probably cussed at the guy and the guys and everything, right? I don't know. And our protagonist says that she's in a worse situation than he had thought. And when she hears that she's in a worse situation than he had thought, she's kind of like this, right? Because she is really smart, very smart. And he understands that she's having difficulties fixing herself lately. But that's why he wanted to fix her things through punishment, right? So he goes there, grabs the stick from her hand, which was supposed to be a ruler. But I don't know if it's a rule or not. And she says it's okay. She knows how it works, and it was her who set the rules too, right? Not to mention that she says a whip she has there, she uses it, right, to calm herself because sometimes she doesn't pay attention in classes. And man, the worst context ever for an excuse about the thing, right? But who cares? I don't even care. Our buddy just thinks, dang, my friend.
If she really does that, then that's why she's smart. But man, when it's time to take the spanking here, the punishment, she starts taking off her pants too.
Take the hits on the butt and I get in the twink up the door. Then I didn't understand. I was like, team. Then she says, well, quickly do what I need to learn. Then he asks, what do you mean? Why are you taking off your pants, damn it, to take a beating?
But no, he is a private tutor, a guy who really studies. So what does he do? He gets serious and tells her that he's gonna get up, grab her and hit her. Because, right?
That's because she also says, guys, that if she gets spanked with pants on, she won't feel the spanking. So it doesn't make sense, or it doesn't make sense either way in this mess, because to me neither makes sense. But before that, our protagonist goes to the bathroom to take a pee there calmly, right? Then he gets there, and when he sees the nice clean bathroom, he says, damn, it's clean and smells good here. The dude gets all serious, but the guy already went up to 10, right?
The dude already took the secret weapon. What's the secret weapon, guys?
Anti-gravity device for pretty girls. This one is the big deal. This one you have to have up your sleeve every time. Okay, this one you can never forget in your life. He only felt pressured to bring this because what if, right? Not on the first day, right, guys? But right.
I'm not gonna judge, but you never know, right?